We're now ready to begin the Providence College press conference. We'll open with an opening statement from Coach Cooley.
Well, you know, the other day we sat in here, we were on an incredible high, and we knew we had an opportunity to advance, and we talked about it. You know, I think today just came down to they played well, we didn't. We didn't make shots, we got in some foul trouble. But overall, when you look at the big picture, you know, you hurt for the players. You want to win so bad for them. We've seen these kids grow up, and, you know, to see it end like that. I thought we played really, really hard. I thought we played together. But you got to make shots. You got to make plays. You got to make shots in these tournaments, and we didn't have it. So I thought Carolina played really, really well. They played well, and they made shots, and we didn't. And I think that was the determining factor of the game. But just tough to walk away from this. Tough to see, you know, a young man that has grown up in front of my eyes, and Chris, and what he's meant to our organization, and to see where he was and now where he's at and then where he's going. You know, you look at it where, damn, you're like a dad just seeing somebody grow up in front of your eyes. So I can't tell you how much I love this kid and this team and what they've meant to Providence and what they've meant to me this year. I'm going to really miss them.
All right, at this time, we'll open the floor up for questions for the student athletes. Once again, questions for the student athletes. Please raise your hand. Start with Aaron over on the side.
Aaron Beard with the Associated Press here in Raleigh. This is for Chris. Just how much of a problem was foul trouble in this, you know, taking you guys out of what you wanted to do as it got with Carolina pulled away?
Yeah, we got in foul trouble. I think they took advantage of that. They made a couple of runs. In the first half, I thought we withstand it. Once I got in foul trouble, the guys, they kept fighting. They kept being resilient. Everybody was making plays. And once Ben got in foul trouble, they took another run, and we tried to withstand it, but they overmatched us.
Okay, going right here in front.
Despite this loss, you guys did amazingly well defensively, frustrating Carolina. Talk about your journey up to this point.
Ben, could you answer that first?
From the beginning of the season, Coach always told us we're always going to be seen as the underdog. So every time we walk in the gym, we got to come with great enthusiasm and just knuckle up and play. So when we walked in the gym, we came to play. We tried to take them out of their plays, and it came down to, I think, rebounding, which was what Coach was talking about the whole time in the scout. So,
Chris, could you comment on that, please?
Yeah, I think that's the reason why I came back. I think a lot of people doubted us in the beginning because how young we were. But like I said, this has been a roller coaster ride. But I always said it's been the best roller coaster ride I ever rode. These guys, I mean, every single one of them, like my brothers, they work hard. In the summer, they was working hard, and you could see it on and off the court, the chemistry. We really like one another, and I think that's how we got to this point, through the chemistry and the bond that we have, and we always having each other's back. And the fact that the coaches liked all of us, Coach Cooley, I think he did a great job with us, you know, making sure everybody's confident, making sure everybody go out there and play their game and know their role. So, I mean, as a team, I think we kind of achieved the accomplishment that we wanted to do, is get back to the tournament. And the fact that we got past the first round, it was one of my accomplishments that I wanted to achieve. So I appreciate my teammates getting me through this journey.
Okay, going back in the middle.
Ben, can you just talk about their size? Obviously, playing in the post, that's where you picked up most of your fouls. How difficult was it to defend them in the post?
To be honest, it really wasn't difficult. We fronted the post. They just made good plays. You know, at the end of the day, the refs made great calls. We respect it, and the size. I mean, it was a problem, but it wasn't a problem for us. It was just toughness, and they played better today. So that was it.
Going up front here on the right.
Corey Smith from North State Journal. Ben, specifically facing Bryce Johnson, you know, an All-American this year. What was it like facing him out there? And I know I saw you guys kind of jawing back and forth with each other. What was going on there?
We was telling each other how I was telling him he's a great player. He was telling me I'm a great player. It was just a good matchup. It was unfortunate I couldn't finish the game so that the matchup could go on, but at the end of the day, I take everything that I could get. And whilst I was on the court, I enjoyed playing against him.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Let's go back there, Casey. No, right there. You're right.
Chris, that's 2 games in a row where you did have to battle foul trouble, especially in that first half. Did you have any cheap ones that you just maybe regret, or is it just being aggressive?
Yeah, that's who I am as a player. I'm very aggressive on both ends of the floor. And the coaching staff, they told me always stay who you are and be aggressive. I definitely got a cheap foul. I think we doubled the post and they threw it to Joel James. I should have just let him go. I had the easy basket, but of course my aggression play got me the cheap foul and I had to sit out.
Any other questions for student athletes? All right, gentlemen, you're excused. Thank you very much. All right, questions for Coach Cooley? Can we start up front here, Casey?
Coach, when you think back about this team, what's going to be the one thing that sticks out in your mind?
You know, we started back in September, and I was talking to Coach Blaney. I was talking to my son. I said, I like this team. There's something about this team that I like. You know, I don't know where we were picked in the league to start. You know, we had a lot of new faces. We had some defections, in my opinion, that helped the team. But at the same time, there was something about this group that I liked. I liked their character. I loved how hungry they were to prove people wrong. And those are the type of teams that I like to coach, and this definitely was one. I loved this team.
Any other questions? Back in the middle.
Ed, kind of the same thing I asked Ben. Obviously, in the post, it's difficult. You don't have a lot of guys at that size, and obviously he picked up 5 fouls, trying to hold off quite a few guys.
Yeah, I don't think size bothered us as much this year as we thought it would. You know, I think the foul trouble and our lack of depth kind of hurt us. You know, I mean, it's not like we got all these length guys at the rim. You know, he picked up a couple of really tough fouls, and I think that changed the entire game. You know, if we're not in foul trouble, you know, I don't know if it'll be a different outcome, but it'll definitely be a closer game. You know, clearly they're 2 of the better players that were on the floor, and when they're going at that level, they probably were the 2 best players on the floor.
Back behind you, Casey, all the way back.
Dash Ty Hurt with Carolina Blitz. Coach Cooley, at one point I heard you tell Dunn, do whatever you want. I'm just enjoying watching you. Talk about how it's been watching him this season, and what do you expect from him in the future?
Well, you know, when you have we're gifted to have a kid like that in our organization. You know, we're a small, great Catholic school that many of you probably think we're in Long Island, not Rhode Island. But to have him there and to see how far he came, many of you have had an opportunity to see where he is today. You didn't see how he grew from his leadership, from his just his presence, his body, his confidence, his academics. And when somebody's playing like that, I tell them that every game. Don't ask me what you want to do. You do what you have to do to lead this team. So, again, I said it to open up the press conference. We'll miss him. Not so much just his playing ability, but his ability to change a program. And I think many coaches have had players that they can target that really change their program and set it in the right direction. And Chris will probably be that signature player that gets us going in the direction where we want to go.
Other questions for Coach? All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck to Carolina.